For as long as anyone could remember, the Marquez tailoring shop had been a quiet corner of comfort in Willowbrook. It wasn't just a place to mend clothes. It was where memories were kept alive and stories were shared. The week after the man with the scarf visited, Anna's shop saw its usual flow of customers. Each one brought with them not just fabric to repair, but a glimpse into their lives, a thread in the larger tapestry of the town. Mrs. Hines was one of Anna's regulars, a retired schoolteacher in her late 60s. She walked in one morning with a folded suit draped over her arm, her movements slow but purposeful. "Good morning, Anna," she said with a warm smile. Anna smiled back, setting down her sewing. "Good morning, Mrs. Hines. What can I do for you today?" The older woman carefully laid the suit on the counter. It was a deep navy blue, with small frayed edges at the cuffs and lapel. "This belonged to my husband," Mrs. Hines said, her voice soft. "He wore it every year for our anniversary dinner. I found it tucked away in the closet and, well, I'd like to see it mended." Anna nodded, her hands gently running over the fabric. "Of course, it's a beautiful suit. I'll make sure it's good as new." Mrs. Hines's smile faltered for a moment, her eyes glistening. "He always said it made him feel like a young man again," she said. Then, after a pause, "He's been gone for 5 years now, but restoring this suit might make me feel close to him again, like the good old days." Anna's heart ached at the tenderness in Mrs. Hines's words. "I'll take good care of it," she said softly. As Mrs. Hines left, the suit in Anna's hands felt heavier than its fabric, weighted with love, loss, and memory. Later that week, the shop door opened again, and a young girl peeked in hesitantly. It was Maya, a shy teenager who Anna recognized from her walks to the library. She carried a rolled-up piece of paper and clutched it tightly as if it might escape. "Hi. Are you busy?" Maya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Anna smiled warmly. "Not at all. Come in." Maya stepped forward, unrolling the paper to reveal a hand-drawn sketch of a dress. It was simple but beautiful, with flowing lines and intricate details. I was wondering if you could help me make this," Maya said, her cheeks turning pink. "It's for prom. I want to make something special, but I don't really know how." Anna studied the sketch, her smile growing. "This is a wonderful design. You have a real eye for detail." Maya's eyes widened in surprise. "You think so?" Anna nodded. "Absolutely. Why don't we work on this together? I'll help you bring it to life." For the first time, Maya smiled, a shy, hopeful smile that lit up her face. Over the next few days, Maya returned often, helping Anna choose fabrics and learning how to sew small pieces. With every visit, her confidence grew, and so did her bond with Anna. By the time the dress was finished, it wasn't just a garment. It was a symbol of a young girl discovering her strength. Another visitor came later in the week, a man named Mark, carrying a jacket that had clearly seen better days. His young daughter trailed behind him, clutching a notebook and scribbling as they walked. "Morning, Anna," Mark said with an easy grin. "Got a tough one for you?" Anna chuckled, taking the jacket from him. "This jacket's been through a lot, hasn't it?" Mark nodded. "Yeah, it's my favorite. My daughter Holly says I should just buy a new one, but I don't know. I kind of like this one." Holly looked up from her notebook, rolling her eyes playfully. "It's practically falling apart, Dad." Mark laughed. "That's why we're here. If anyone can save it, it's Anna." As Anna examined the jacket, she noticed the faint initials embroidered on the inside lining, MR. She smiled, realizing it wasn't just a jacket. It was part of Mark's story. "Leave it with me," she said. "I'll make it look good as new." When Mark returned to pick it up, he slipped on the jacket and looked at his daughter. "What do you think, Holly?" he asked. Holly smiled, giving him a thumbs up. "You look awesome, Dad." For Mark, it wasn't just about the jacket. It was about being a father his daughter could look up to. Anna had worked on many delicate pieces in her time, but there was something different about this scarf. It wasn't just the frayed edges or faded colors. It was the feeling it carried, as though every thread held a story waiting to be told. Late one evening, after the shop had closed and the quiet hum of her sewing machine was the only sound, Anna ran her fingers over the fabric, searching for the best way to restore it. That's when she felt it, something small and crumpled tucked into one of the folds. Frowning, she carefully unfolded the scarf and found a slip of paper, yellowed with age and barely larger than her palm. It had been hidden so deeply that it must have been there for years, unnoticed by anyone who had worn it. Her heart quickened as she smoothed the paper flat. The handwriting was faint and uneven, as if written in a hurry, but the words were clear. "Ben, don't forget what we talked about. If you ever feel lost, come find me. You'll know where to look." Anna stared at the note, her mind racing. Who had written it? And what had they meant? She turned it over, searching for more clues, but the paper was blank on the other side. She set the scarf and the note down on her workbench, her thoughts swirling. It felt like she had stumbled onto something deeply personal, a piece of someone's story that wasn't hers to uncover. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling that this note mattered, that it was meant to be found.